care who they put in there at tackle. Woo! They got to deal with that. There we go.
What's going on, sports fans? It's Josh Williams back again with another episode of the American Fan 365 podcast. You see, we're getting some new touches to the beginning, so hope you enjoyed that. But excited to talk today. Moving off of football, you guys know at the end of the football season, I am like literally footballed out. Especially when my team's trash. If my team had been there, then yeah, we'd still be talking about it and oh my God, the glory and everything. But yeah, when we're trash, it's like, okay, let's move on. So you see, we have switched over to hockey.
Yep.
We're praying that my Capitals could pull it together. But without further ado, go ahead and introduce Mr. George Carmona. George, how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I got a new wardrobe this weekend. I got this little hat. I got this from Forever 21, so I'm feeling I'm feeling good.
Okay.
You know, I got a couple of new outfits. What really happened was I didn't get Cameron anything for Valentine's Day. It's classic air on my part.
Nothing at all?
I got her flowers from the guy off the side of the freeway on the way home.
No. These are all juvenile mistakes.
No, I know. Trust me, dude. In the past, I've gone crazy for Valentine's Day.
I'll let you continue. Go ahead.
I've gone crazy. I did the scavenger hunt one year was it was too much. I never want to put that much effort forth again.
But anyway, set the bar that high.
I know. So, but here's the thing. How about a shopping spree on Saturday? Boom. It's a treat for me because I needed new stuff, and it's a treat for her.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is how we scooped and scored. We dusted off the fumble.
Oh, Josh, yes. Okay. What was really nice, her dad's birthday is on Valentine's Day, so we went out to dinner with them. So I didn't have to pay for dinner either. It was pretty nice. I should have covered the tab, didn't.
Wait. So who covered the tab? Did Dad cover the tab?
No, it was his birthday. No, it was his birthday. Mom covered the tab.
Mom did. Okay, all right, fair enough.
But then it's like the ladies paying. It's like
Well, listen. Sometimes ladies need to pay.
That is true.
Jesus,
that makes them feel better.
You can't listen.
We can't have that feeling all the time.
Listen, it can't just be we want all the. Oh Lord, you about to get me on my soapbox?
Hit it.
We can't want all everything. Because look, and let me be first to say I am for ladies and women getting all their rights and feeling on the same level as a man. But at the same time, okay, you up here now, so open up that wallet. I shouldn't see malts flying out either. It should be like, oh, here you go.
I can't see an Amazon package show up at the house every fucking day and then have you not pay. All right, I know the money's going somewhere.
And then we broke. But we gotta also introduce the curled one in the back, Mr. Jory. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Oh, you have a camera. Look at you. You look glorious.
There we go. He's figuring it out.
There it is. That was a seamless switcheroo too.
Of
Good
course.
Job. That was on call. Well, George, let's go ahead and start off going around the world in sports. We're going to talk pretty heavy on NBA this episode just because of All-Star Weekend and All-Star Weekend Indy. I was not there. I haven't been to All-Star game in probably 5 or 6 years now. So this is like the longest stretch for me not going to one. Yeah, because it's I want to say because I didn't go to MSG, I didn't go to Toronto. I went to, I feel like 2014 I was there. So, yeah, it's been almost 9 years. But ESPN actually dropped a question, and everybody can get in on this, last week after the Chiefs won. And I thought it was really interesting, and it's kind of similar back to what I've been saying as far as Mahomes and Brady and all that stuff. But the question was, who's closer to greatness, or who's closer to being considered the best of all time? Is it LeBron James to Michael Jordan, or is it Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady? And for me, it's obviously, and this is going to surprise people, it's obviously LeBron.
Yeah.
Because at this point, look, LeBron has 4 titles to Michael's 6. LeBron also went to 10 finals. Now, he lost 6 of them. Jordan didn't lose at all, but he did lose 6 of his. But he also has surpassed Michael in certain statistical categories. So that's the reason, when you start getting into the stats people or longevity people, that's one of their main arguments is, he's better at this age than Jordan was. And Jordan was winning MVPs the last year. He had a good team. So it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. But I still feel like he's closer. Like it's at least an argument, even if I feel the argument is incorrect, it is at least one. What do you think?
I would say I agree with you, but if I'm going to play devil's advocate to the Mahomes Brady situation, I think the way that Mahomes has played in his first 6 years now,
6 years
and in the league is definitely more captivating than Brady ever was. And when you think about like talent-wise and just the product that they've put out on the field, like Mahomes is it. He is what every single high school kid, middle schooler, young kid on the football field is trying to recreate. I can't say the same thing about like when I was growing up with Brady, because even at that time, because I did get a chance to live throughout all of Brady's Super Bowls, you still had the people that were saying like Dan Marino or like a Joe Montana.
Yeah.
And so those type of people were who you were trying to recreate on, the elementary school playground. But with Mahomes, I think there's no single player, maybe aside from like Steph Curry, where everybody idolized and wanted to play that brand at the same time.
That's
a big picture, right? I mean, when you say who's closer, there's so many facets, right? But in that regard, I would say Mahomes to Brady is closer than LeBron to Michael, because people will always go to wanting to do the Michael Jordan. Tell me a LeBron logo. Signature move.
Chase down block.
Sidestep 3.
His dunk where he like kind of like cocks it to the side. His look at the ball joint and then pull up. That's one of his signatures. But then just bully basketball. That's literally his career. His career has been mostly bully basketball. Jordan has the fadeaway. Jordan has Mona Lisa dunk. Jordan has kiss the rim. Jordan got a lot. There's a lot of names associated to
the
things.
Cradle, dude. I know it was Dr. J.
That's Mona Lisa. Cradle is this one.
Oh, I got
where
you.
He went this way. That was Mona Lisa.
See, I just learned something. Yeah. That's the first time I've heard of that.
That's Mona Lisa dunk.
Oh, have you seen the Brady? The hand, his left. Whenever he handed the ball off to the right side, it just looks so good.
Yeah,
I recreated it my entire life.
Really?
No, nobody cares.
Peyton had a really good play action.
True.
Peyton's play action package was stupid.
Hit it really
well.
Show
that ball. Pull it
boom.
Right.
That's tough to do.
Jory, what you got in this?
Yeah, I definitely think LeBron closer to Jordan. I would go with that. I feel like, I mean, 4 championships. I mean, 3 really, but 4 championships. Pat only has 3 championships now, and he needs 4 more to catch up. So that's where I'd put it.
Yeah, and then also too, just in terms of both the statistical gap. We talked about that last week. Right now I want to say he's still like 40,000 yards behind.
Oh yeah,
50,000 yards.
Crazy number.
It's like 50. It's 52,000 because he's at 28. Brady's up at 80 something, 89 I think. So like he still has a road ahead. Like LeBron has passed Michael in certain things. Michael took his breaks. He retired, unretired, retired again, came back. Like he had his numbers were not like if he played the whole time throughout like LeBron has, his numbers would be up there too.
Yeah.
But that wasn't he didn't feel challenged. But
yeah,
we can move it along. UFC 298 recap, George. We have a new champion. Volkanovski went down. Big knockout. What did you think of the card overall? I was able to catch little glimpses of the main card, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I did watch the Volk fight, but I wasn't able to watch all of them.
I watched just the co-main and the main, and I was wrong in both. Paulo Costa is such like a cool looking guy. Like when I've seen him at the UFC Apex, I mean, the dude is dialed in.
Yeah.
The swagger is impeccable, and you know he's like at least for me, I'm like, damn, I wish I was that guy. You know what I mean? He's kind of got that aura about him.
Yes.
So I wanted him to beat up Robert Whittaker, but I think Robert Whittaker is very, very balanced in everything that he does. The fight didn't really go to the ground that much. I don't watch UFC enough to know who would necessarily have the advantage in that situation, but Paulo Costa looked relatively clean, and he busted Robert Whittaker's nose, and so at least optically, you would think that Paulo would have won, but he didn't.
UD.
He did not.
Decision,
Yes.
29,
30, or was it 29-28?
29-28,
Yeah.
29-28, 30-27.
Yeah.
So one judge had him not winning a single round.
Yeah.
And I kind of, it was interesting because some of those fights, because it was that fight, and then also the fight with Merab and Henry Cejudo. Both of those fights were with fighters that are accustomed to fighting 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So when it was like, oh, I'm not fighting 5 rounds, it was kind of almost like they were still pacing themselves. And it's like, no, bro, it's only 3.
Yeah.
So if you can steal, if you steal round 1, you put the other person on edge the rest of the fight.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But like when you come out slow and then you have to turn it on, it kind of puts you in a bad situation.
That's a very good point.
I was able to watch, like I said, I watched the Volkanovski Topuria fight. Topuria now new champion, 15-0. Volk now loser of 3 of his last 4.
Yep.
Because he lost twice to Islam, and then he just lost to Topuria in between beating what was the other guy's name? I want to say he was Mexican. I think it was a Mexican fighter. I'm blanking on his name right now. But Robert Whittaker takes down Paulo Costa. Jeff Neal loses a close decision to Ian Gary. One of my UFC guys was saying, I'm not going to say who because he may or may not be in the same division, but he was saying basically it was a pretty boring fight. Ian, for the most part, didn't really want to get involved in any kind of real exchanges with Jeff. Good friend Merab Divashvili, man, took down Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo's now lost like 3 straight, I feel like. So he's kind of coming down.
Yeah.
Anthony Hernandez won rear naked choke, and then we'll just go with Miss Mackenzie Dern. You know I love Mackenzie Dern, but I was telling George and Austin before the show it might be time for her to retire, man. It might be time.
Is this the last 2 she's dropped?
Shoot, I feel like she's lost. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up her.
Was she the one that was like going through a divorce?
Yes,
Yeah,
she was.
yeah.
Yes, she was.
So did I tell you my theory on that?
Well, yes, you
I
did.
did.
You actually said it on air where you were like, she lost.
She
so
lost on
wouldn't have to
purpose,
pay.
so she doesn't have to pay that guy shit. You know, he's taking fucking half of her money. Girl, you earned it. You know, keep throwing fights.
keep throwing fights.
Keep doing it.
She's 30 years old. Let me see if I can pull up her last. Of course, this is exactly when the stuff.
Andrade.
She just lost to Jessica back in.
And then
I wanna say it was November.
Lemos. Amanda Lemos was just this past weekend, and then she beat Angela Hill.
Yeah, she beat Angela. She lost before that. She won. Yeah, so she's lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win
But
1.
you're
and then
correct.
lose
It's
2 in a row.
UFC is a young person sport to a certain extent. I feel like now we have enough information to know that once a fighter hits right around like 32, when they lose a championship fight, we're not like, oh, how did this happen? Yeah. No, dude, like it is a young person sport. And I think you're going to start seeing even younger like champions sooner rather than later. I remember watching at the Apex not too long ago, the Contender Series fight where you're seeing a kid that's 20 years old from Brazil and you're like, holy shit. Wow, you're literally fighting to not change your life at 20 when I feel like that opportunity was not presented 10 years ago.
Yeah, a decade ago. I mean, outside of let me think, like Max Holloway, like guys like that. There was like one or two. Now there's like 22.
Right.
That are all younger. But yeah, so great 298. But the bigger news, George, coming out of UFC this weekend, our friend Jamal Hill announced as the main event of UFC 300 to get his belt back from Alex Pereira. I'm excited. Obviously I have a hand in the reason that belt changed. We won't get into that. But
People know, Josh.
Well, I hope they wouldn't. That's a good thing. Let's get at least a year out.
No, it was training. Yeah. No, it was definitely.
No, we're not gonna lie on wax. It is what it is. But
yes.
but I mean, for Jamal to get this opportunity, it's life altering because UFC is going to hammer market this over the next few months and the next few weeks. Yeah. Listen, if Jamal is able to add to his brand and get another win, first I was telling Jamal yesterday, he already has beaten the teacher and why am I blanking on his name right now? Glover Teixeira, and now he gets to beat the student. So very exciting times for him. Excited for him. Excited for his family, and what it could mean for his career long term.
What it means for his career long term if he gets this win is exactly what his next fight is going to be.
What's his next fight?
There's no way it's not John Jones.
Oh.
There is no way if Jamal Hill wins that his next fight isn't John Jones. I honestly think they'll figure it out, whether it's light or heavy. Like they'll make it happen.
I'd like for it to maybe be a catch.
Got you.
Well, you know what? No, screw it. Make it 205 because it would make John have to come down.
Correct.
Like Jamal still he don't like coming down, but at least he's still in code to do so.
Right.
John Jones then reshaped his body, so it's like, Jamal, don't you dare try to go up.
I think it's a dangerous John Jones size, though. That's a fast John Jones.
Well, how
heavyweight John Jones is any version of John Jones terrifying.
I'll say this.
But that is the fight.
I'll say this: if that did take place and he had to come down to 205. I still think that it would drain him a lot more than what I was going to say too is how long is the lead up to it? Because if they're giving John Jones 4 months,
by the end of the year.
Oh,
it'll happen like that. I mean, you got UFC 300s in April.
Yeah, maybe
April
306.
May, June, July, August, September. Is there any big cards? October, November?
Well, November is MSG.
Boom. MSG, John Jones, Jamal Hill. God damn. Call me a promoter, man. Listen, I'm missing a calling right now. This is actually pretty easy. I'm not the only person in the world that's thinking this.
Well, I mean, listen, Jamal from the beginning on Contender Series was calling out John Jones when John Jones was the champion of light heavyweight. So,
makes it all the better.
Way to speak it into existence, and I will not say that on air. Never mind. I was gonna say some things. We'll move along.
All right.
Congratulations, Jamal.
Yes.
Up next in hockey news, Jaromir Jagr had his number 68 jersey retired and hung in the rafters in Pittsburgh. It was actually really cool. I meant to actually get the clip of this, but Jaromir Jagr actually was able to take the opening skate with the players, so he skated out, and then every Pittsburgh Penguin, they wore their throwback uniforms. All the players, well, not all, but a lot of the players wore mullets, because remember back in those days, Jaromir Jagr had the flow and he had the business on the top and party in the back, and so it was a really cool tribute, and even me as a Capitals fan. Jagr was and is one of the best of all time. So I'm surprised it took him this long, because I know he was still playing overseas, but you could have retired his number in Pittsburgh like a decade ago.
I'm looking at his flow now. He also played for the Panthers, eh?
Yeah, he played for my Capitals too. He was hot trash juice on the Capitals. He was hot trash.
Was that back when you were going to games a lot?
No. This was Joshua in high school.
Okay.
This was I didn't have the money or the parents that wanted to go to.
But
hockey.
you had the opinion.
Oh, for sure. No. I didn't start going to hockey games until I was. Shut up, Jory. Until I was able to actually start sneaking in as an intern with the Wizards. I used to sneak in Ovechkin's first year, his rookie year. I was an intern with the Wizards, and I had a scan card. Like I could scan myself in. I knew everybody. I knew the staff because I worked for the team. So like I would just scan, and people would be like, "Oh, what are you doing here today?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, just picking up some boxes." Because Monumental, so it's now called the Monumental Sports Network, all that. But like at that point, it was just Monumental, and Monumental, the office building where the ownership was across the way, and this was actually still when Abe Pollin was the owner of the Wizards. So Abe Pollin was owner of the Wizards. Ted Leonsis, now the owner of the Wizards, was only the owner of the Capitals. So I used to sneak into games. There would be nobody there. Like this was Ovechkin rookie season when people were like, "Oh, who's this Ovechkin fella?" And after he's
gonna be hopeful.
After he scored the goal where, he's on his neck dangling and all that good stuff, that's when I started to show up. I would just go because I'm like, something about this Ovechkin kid. He's
Legit.
He's decent. And the rest is history. But
shouts out to Jaromir.
Jaromir Jagr. Yep.
That's a hell of a name, man.
That's right. He was there.
Good age to get your jersey retired too. He's 52. Like, yeah. I mean, sometimes it doesn't happen for people till it's like way late.
Well, no.
Like
he won 2 titles with the Penguins, and he was there. He was basically Mario Lemieux's sidekick, but
Gotcha.
he was very good too. Like it wasn't like he was Scottie Pippen. Like he was basically if Jordan and Magic were on a team.
Makes sense.
Like it was like that. It wasn't like, yeah, we really love Super Mario. It was like, no, Jagr is a problem.
True.
And so yeah, no, but like I said, he's essentially been retired for about the last 5 or 6 years. But they could have retired his jersey in Pittsburgh like years ago.
Same with the Magic and Shaq. I mean,
that's just a tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that even like I didn't even realize that they had never even retired another player's jersey. So he's the first one, which makes sense because he was the first one. But to like Shaq's been in the Hall of Fame. Like he's been in the Hall of Fame for some years. So he's already had his moment. Usually you get your jersey retired before you even get to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that was that I don't know. Who Jory, what number 1 goes in first? Penny Hardaway or Trace McGrady for retirement jersey?
That's pretty tough, but I would have to say Penny.
Has to be Penny.
It has to be Penny,
Tracy never led them to anything. He led them to the first round and they would get cracked.
Yeah.
That's a retired jersey? Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, they should do it, they should just do it together. I'm like, nigga, why?
No, wait. Doing it together would be so whack.
Well,
I would feel so betrayed. Like
No,
if they're
not-
like, well, let's bring them both in, guys.
No.
2 number 1s going to the rafters.
Not together like they have a joint ceremony.
That would be
I misspoke. No, but like basically you put the one up and you say Tracy McGrady and and Penny Hardaway.
No. You say Hardaway and McGrady.
Yeah, basically, yeah, for sure. Like Penny took him to the finals with Shaq, and then had some decent playoff runs after was the main guy until his knees gave out. But yeah, that's wild. Tiger Woods withdraws again from his hosting event at the Genesis Open this past weekend. I think it was Matsuyama won the event, but first off, this event always freaks me out now because this is the event that the car accident happened. This is that weekend.
Oh, where he did like the flip into. I just watched on Vice yesterday the 9 Lives of Tiger. It's really good. Vice is Vice
Really?
TV.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah. Hulu has Vice.
I don't know if I wish to watch that. That has some sadness turned in there.
Dude, no, honestly, the best Tiger documentary is the one that HBO did. That one's way better than this one.
That one was pretty
I'll just
good.
keep it 100.
That one-
It's a 3-parter too, so.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. They did get in deep.
But yeah, it's crazy. Oh, yeah.
Super pause.
And he withdraws.
And he withdrew. But I mean, I guess my main thing, putting a bow on this, I just want Tiger to be healthy. He got the flu, but they needed ambulances and like medics and everything else.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 3 ambulances and
I did not know it
2
was that
fire
bad.
trucks. We thought Tiger was dying in the back, and then they
Wait a
then they
second.
slowly drove out. Yeah, it was a rough time in Cali for Mr. Woods. But
No, dude, he's a showman. Tiger, he's coming out with Sunday Reds on May 1st. He is just building the storyline. I'm looking at this golf cart ride right now. No,
yeah.
he's so good. He knew he's like, is the camera rolling? Oh, I feel so bad. How am I ever going to recover? Comes back, wins the Masters by 10 strokes.
Listen.
Makes
I
a
pray,
billy on Sunday
I
Reds.
pray you're right. My thing is Tiger needs to play every week. Screw all this daggone, we gonna play twice and then I'm gonna take 4 months off and practice. Like, he needs to play. He always says he needs the reps. I know his body can't handle the reps, but he needs to play more. He needs to play more. He doesn't he can't just roll in to the majors and then all this pressure to perform is on him and he has no he has obviously the memories, but it's not like the muscle memory is still as strong.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Nobody intimidates a field more than Tiger Woods. So if Tiger is on the final leaderboard, even if he's not, I get what you're saying. Golf is a rhythmic game. You need to be in rhythm, especially going into the bigger tournaments.
Yeah.
But then there's like John Daly. And you're like, this mofo just came straight out of the car to tee box number 1 and he's playing. Like
Cigarettes, beer in hand.
Tiger's somewhat got that in him, and he's got that intimidation factor that, like, dude, you just don't want to see him on a Sunday.
Other people still don't have. No, that's true.
And yeah, and he's, how old is he now? In his 40s?
Yeah, he's Tiger like 49.
More surgeries than you can even count.
Bless you.
Bless you, Jory.
It's all right. We can work around that. It's okay. Sneezes happen, people.
Thanks for not sneezing on the technology. He at least put his face to the right side of all the screens.
I am that person too. Like, oh, dang, it caught me off guard. This is disgusting.
If you guys were to see my laptop screen right now, it would disgust the entire crowd. All right. That's
a sad bit of business.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on to the NBA, got to give a shout out to a high school player, a lady high school player, Miss Saniya Burks, in her senior night. Look at this stat line: 75 points, 19 rebounds, and 15 steals. She and that's not even saying how many assists she had, because if in the highlight clips and everything, and George has a few. She also had some dimes. So like, who's to say how close she was to a quadruple double? Like it was crazy, but had to definitely, I love to give the ladies their flowers on air, even though sometimes I talk bad about them too, because they be doing too much, but they deserve all of their flowers. 75 senior night. That's how you go out on top.
Yeah. I don't know if the other team knew this, but you can throw double teams at people. But
shoot, she was stealing inbounds. Passes.
15 steals is nuts, bro. 15 steals is crazy.
Yeah. She was going to work. Had some threes. Give me some lays in there. Yeah, she was doing her thing. There's Trey Ball.
Do I put a wait?
Yeah, here we go. Give me that. Steal. We out. Run the break. Okay, pass it. See there. Oh, see, look, but she followed. There's a rebound there too. Yep. Yeah, and that was the end of the first half. But yeah,
that's just nightmares for that other team right there. I mean, as a coach of the other team, you just make it super easy to be like, all right, we're running 75 down and backs today. One for each one of those fucking points that you got dropped on your head yesterday. Like it's infinite the amount of punishments you can give
For me,
for giving up 75 points.
We will run until I am tired of yelling. Like, so until that moment comes, just keep running. Don't even ask how much longer. Don't even look at me. Just keep running.
As soon as we finish the 75 down and backs, 19 suicides because you gave up 19 steals.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness. To one player. 19
Crazy.
turnovers to one player. That is
Nuts.
nuts. All right, switching gears over to the NBA. We're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend, but up first, have to give a shout out to our NBA segment today. It is brought to you by our friends at Coco Love, the beverage of choice of the American fan 365. Head over to www.cocolovewater.com for your own case of coconut refreshment and use the code TAF for your discount on Hawaiian Beach vibes. And I'll go ahead and crack my second beverage of the.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, George, you only
You're
got
gonna
one.
have to, well, I mean, you're going to have to use the bathroom here
You,
before we finish if
you-
you're going to keep drinking like that.
That's all right. That's all right. It's what it is. I'm prepared. Yeah, George only gets one. George he's a tank.
Apparently, the intro video wasn't enough for people today. Jory was also the producer of the beats back there. I don't know if he got.
Yeah. See, and
We gotta
I
get him
didn't.
some
and
Hawaiian
I have
Beach
to. I have
vibes.
to think. I have to think about Jory now too. So that's another can that has to be chilled out.
Yes.
So
Should we start with that? Like the fact that his song got played yesterday at the end of what was it, Jory?
So the announcement for 2K or 2025 All-Star game, yeah, they played my song and like the whole recap of the weekend and like the announcement of them bringing it to the Bay. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you were not expecting that.
No.
and you but more importantly, you are not compensated. So we need to talk about this, NBA. Can't just be because best believe we put some stuff up on the page that isn't free use, and people are asking us questions. So don't just be freely using other people's content.
Oh, wait a second.
I'll just say
we
that.
can't use these things now. We have morals all of a sudden. Copyright. Who ever heard of that?
What copyright? Cease and desist. Anyway,
For real, check out the song "Season" by Mason. It's fucking good. It's in NBA 2K 24. So, yeah.
Time out, boy. Your song is in 2K too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, all right, man. Hold on, dog. All right. As I said before, it's not just about the curls with you. So we're gonna have to have a real conversation about this. All right, switching gears over to All-Star Weekend. As a basketball fan, I'm disappointed in myself because I only saw the game. I didn't see. Jory asked me if did you see the dunk contest? Not a one dunk. You know what? I take that back. I did see Jaylen Brown mess up the D Brown dunk.
Bad.
So, well, I mean, if you're gonna do D Brown, you got to close your eyes before the dunk. You can't dunk and then, oh, my bad. Just kidding. Yeah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. Shout out to former Hoya who then transferred in the portal, Mac McClung. You know what I mean? Mac is talking about he wants a new contract, and I'm saying, Mac, I don't hear anything about you until the dunk contest. So shout out to the back-to-back dunk contest winner, but let's get some more buckets on the court too. Just saying.
I don't think if you're in the G League, you should be able to participate in the dunk contest. Am I wrongful in saying that?
Wait a minute. Is he in the G League?
He's in the
game?
G League, my friend. He wants a contract because he just made more money in 2 slam dunk contests than he has playing G League basketball.
That's fair. I will say
That's
so.
nuts.
One thing that because this happened actually for one of my friends, James White. So James, man, this is going back to James White. He went to Florida, transferred to Florida, went to Cincinnati. He's from my neighborhood. We grew up together. One of the greatest dunkers of all time. James in high school, in college, was doing, between the legs, 2-hand tomahawk dunks from the free throw line like it was nothing. Like James jumped from the free throw line and did a windmill in Tim's and jeans. James was incredible. And his last attempt of finally actually getting to a dunk contest in the NBA, it was sad because James was like 30. You know what I mean? Like his juice wasn't there anymore, and he was in the G League, and the Knicks pulled him up for like a week, and then that's how he was able to be in the dunk contest. And I was there. I was in the house. It was that was the last time I was in LA, and yeah, just sad. So to hear you say Mac McClung is in the G League, it's like, oh, now we pulling G League people up?
Yeah.
Because before that wasn't the case. So
well, I mean, yeah, I would prefer if it still not be the case. Let's get Mac McClung a 10-day contract. Have him Jeremy Lin us, okay? Can you imagine McClung mania? All right,
Mac Mania.
Mac Mania. All right, dude, he comes in, drops 45 for 7 straight games. We're like, what?
Just like
all dunks.
Just like Lil Weezy couldn't make it happen for Mac Main, I don't think it's happening for Mac McClung. I'm just saying.
No. It's what's so
Joey
funny.
Appreciated the heck out of that too.
Yeah, I went over my head.
But switching over the 3-point contest, Dame Lillard takes it. He won his, I think this is his second time winning the 3-point contest. So shout out to Dame. There was also the best shooter, or I don't even know if they had a title. It was just Sabrina versus Steph. And this is where I take a moment to just highlight how dope that is for women's athletics, because there's not many opportunities where men and women are on the same footing. We shooting on the same basket. No, obviously they have 2 different balls. I hope anyway.
They did. They did.
She had her own. She had her own basketballs too. Good.
She didn't shoot from the women's 3-point line.
She's shooting from NBA 3.
Correct.
So you're already putting the woman at a disadvantage, truthfully. But for her to hit 26 in that competition, remember 26 was the winner on the men's side.
Yeah.
So for her to hit 26. And showcase how great of a shooter she is, right alongside the greatest shooter of all time. That's not even a question anymore.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really cool. I thought it was a really cool moment because also Steph was one of her idols, so she loves Steph Curry. So she talked about just how awkward and like she wanted to be a fan. Mm-hmm. But she had to compete at the same time.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool.
She did it out of season too. Like that's crazy. Or well, I mean, WNBA players unfortunately are kind of always in season because they go overseas to make more money than they do out here anyways.
The reason why they don't got no kneecaps.
Yep.
Kneecaps.
So no, I thought it was incredible the performance she put on because in warm-ups, Josh, when you got to see them warm up for like a minute and a half, I mean, talk about the intimidation level just skyrocketing because Steph Curry probably hit 12 shots in a row and she missed like 8 shots in a row.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh my God, like this can possibly be one of the worst ideas the NBA's ever come. Like, I want you to understand, NBA, if Sabrina puts up like 16 and Steph Curry puts up 29, not a good look. Like what she did was save the NBA from what could have been disastrous.
Well, so okay, and so this is actually cheap help for the NBA. I think the champion from the WNBA's 3-point contest and the champion from this year's 3-point contest, they play each other every year.
Boom.
And
I like that.
And that's how we keep like, I don't know. I wasn't going to like, I was trying to come up with a name for it and I couldn't come up with something catchy enough. So I'll just leave it alone. Cause I was like, it's not the mixed gender champion. Like that's just weird. See that literally when I said it to myself, I was like, that's not going to work. That's not good enough. It's just not good enough, George. So I'm gonna just leave the name alone.
Comment what we should be called down below, please. Just start doing that.
It's obviously we're not going mixed gender.
Wow.
This isn't the hermaphrodite Olympics. We're not going with any of those. So, but I mean, like that's what I think they should do. I think it should be literally the champions should play each other because, and even if it is. The women's champion from this year comes out and the moment's too big and she looks like crap. Okay, the man that could happen to the guy too.
Yeah. You know it's gonna eventually like catch up.
Somebody's gonna get him.
I also it should have been so in this case scenario it should have been Dame that faced her, and I think Because when you put Steph Curry on that pedestal too, I mean, what a fucking ego boost for this guy. Like, I can't be in the 3-point contest because they know I'm going to win. So they need to make it my own separate contest. Like, come on, bro. The way that the league just strokes Steph, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Unfortunate as it may be.
Yeah.
I am team light skin. So go Steph. Go Steph.
Keep doing your thing.
Keep doing what you got to do.
I know Jory's got to stay silent back there. He's tied directly to the organization. But yeah, hey, don't worry. I'll say it for you.
Don't you dare mess your situation up, Jory.
No.
But switching gears over to the game, record-breaking game, 211-186. The Eastern Conference wins. Dame Dolla locked down his first MVP with 39.6 assists and 3 rebounds. The biggest thing, and Jory and I were talking about this before the game, the biggest thing, 168 combined 3-point attempts in the game.
Jesus.
That is like what are we doing? Just it's an all-star game. And I was asking you, George, before show, and I asked Jory too, like, what were the highlights from the entire game? And
it was silent. There was the only thing that happened was interviews, because at the moment in time that the game was happening, I had it on in the other room as I was working in the bathroom on a project because I'm a man. But then, dude, literally, they went from interview to the East has officially won the All-Star game. And I was like, wait, I haven't heard any announcements of like, oh, crazy logo 3 from Dame, you know, like back and forth. They said at one point in time in the fourth quarter, they had said that everybody had like 32 points. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Right. And but no, I agree with you. I guess Jory said there was a Dame highlight.
Dame, yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
What'd he do?
Yeah, so he shot it from way behind the logo, like
three
court,
quarter,
like
okay.
a step behind half court.
He hit 2 from half court.
Okay.
2. And the first one was like, yo, because it was kind of like, and we were talking about this before air. It would be that many threes is cool if it's like we're going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like me and George are guarding each other, and I hit a 3. Then George looks at me like, "Oh, come back down." He hits a 3. Then I go back down, go back at George, and like we do that for about 5 possessions. That's when you're like, yeah, keep pulling threes. Mm-hmm. But when it's like we're running like pin downs to threes, and it's like, bro, it's the All-Star game. I want to see dunks. I want to see crazy crossovers. I want to see passes. Tyrese Halliburton, that was the worst elbow pass I ever seen in my life. I used to do the elbow pass. That is not an homage to Jason Williams. Let's go ahead and get that clear. And he traveled behind off. Like Jason, like, because, okay, the way to actually do it.
You said it was Tyrese?
Yeah, Halliburton. The way to actually do it that made Jason Williams so cool is you have to physically skip into it like mid-dribble. Otherwise, you will travel. It's physically impossible. You can't you can't do all those motions at the same time. But if you skip, like if you hop, it's not technically a step. But yeah. Yeah, it's just let's no, that wasn't the travel part. That part wasn't the travel, but
that weak ass pad that took 2 bounces. No.
Oh yeah, thank you. There it is. That's the whole clip. He took 3 clean steps.
Was that clean? All right, cool.
How about a double bounce pass?
That's just
double bounce.
Soft.
1, 2, 3. Exactly.
Oh, look at KD. Just love it.
Terrible.
You know who's so fun to watch in the All-Star game? Jokic and Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Just the way that their brains just can't not process, like, let's have fun. Like, Luka is calling for a Jokic screen to drive in. He's trying to get crafty with it. And then he's like, wait a second here. This is usually where I flop and get a foul.
Yeah.
Nobody's on me. All right, I'll lay up. Like, it's just... They're so boring.
No, but you know what? I will say one thing as far as the West goes. Luka was so dope because he, like, his passing to a pass, it's so not even talked about, but it's like people were wide open, not just because it was an all-star game, but it was like, no, that was a great pass to another great player that pulled 2 people, that then another pass happened, now somebody's wide open. It was like... And he doesn't even get credit for that.
No.
But it all started because he kicked it to the wing first, and then it got cycled up top and then dumped back down. It was like, that's great. That's good basketball.
Yeah.
So there were some moments, but like
but it's just like fundamental moments. It's not like let's throw the ball off the backboard. LeBron tried to do that like minute 2, I guess that was the one thing I remember, and he just like hit the bottom of the backboard and just pulled it out. It was
just it's.
But like,
sad.
let me see that stuff though.
Yes,
You know,
but execute.
yeah.
I did send you over some kick checks. We were going to look at some of the players' shoes and shoe choices from yesterday's game. So up first we got LeBron. He actually paid homage to the Deion Sanders, the Diamond Turf 95s, I think, or 96s. So those actually were dope because I actually thought he was in the Diamond Turfs when the game started.
But it's just,
and it was actually his shoe that they had, because he does that a lot with his shoe. They like kind of make old versions of old shoes in his shoe.
I would buy that.
Anthony Edwards, I like his shoe. People don't like it.
Do you?
Yeah, not this colorway as much, but like the Stormtrooper ones and some
it looks
of the
like
other
the
ones.
SeaWorld logo.
That's actually very strong.
That's what I thought. He's
Next
doing
slide.
He's doing it for the Orcas.
He's doing it Free Willy, as one would say.
Jason Tatum.
His shoes, these weren't bad. I didn't mind them. They're not bad.
Plain Jane.
I like them better than his Jason Tatum ones. Those were on feet were really bad. The Bookers, I've already said, these are freaking Air Force One and
Dunks had a baby.
Yes, Air Force One, Dunks, and skateboard Nikes.
Some Jordan 2 feels.
In an abortion that should have never happened. Next up,
KD always brings a heat.
KD, I mean, they just look horrible on his feet.
Yeah, I mean, well, all KDs look bad in that size 17 boat that he has to put it on. It's just too big of a canvas, but
too big of a canvas. That's fair. That's fair.
His shoes always kill the middle of my feet because I don't have long toes like how he does.
Yeah. So
KD's toe starts right here. It starts right here.
A lot of pressure on the forefoot.
Way too much.
Tyrese Halliburton was out there in some Kobe sixes.
Yeah.
Those always work. Those play. Next up, Giannis. I like Giannis's shoe, but on him it looks like that swoosh. It goes on forever. I was like, yo, those aren't hot. But like when I saw them in the store, I was like, went on forever. Paolo out here breaking out the Jordan 38 lows and lime green. I like them.
Yeah, that's interesting. Ice trays. Gross.
Yeah, those should have stayed in the freezer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Those are nice.
You think those are nice?
I like the gum bottom, or well, not gum bottom, but like that little light blue
mirror thing.
And I'm a fan of that.
Fan of the double swoosh.
Yeah,
the baby swoosh.
Let them know it.
To the mid-level.
I
swoosh?
like those better than Giannis's fucking McDonald's shoes.
Fair. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Kawhi and the I don't want to talk about my shoes. Don't look at my feet.
Oh.
New Balance mistakes. Dame in the
those are unbalanced right there. Those are off balance.
Not the off balance, the offset 12s. And then Dame with the throw everything on a midsole 2025s. Like
I told an elementary school I'm having a contest for who can.
You know what? That would be the only thing I would allow. Where it's like, we'll see an autistic kid. We gave him a shot to make these.
Yes.
And it was like, okay.
And all
good
the
job, little buddy.
Are going to
the proceeds are going over here. Tyrese Maxey. We can't stay there too long. Tyrese Maxey. I mean, they're okay.
Are those New Balance?
Yeah, they're more New Balances, more unbalanced New Balances.
These are good but not good basketball shoes.
You like the Sunday morning quilt 11s? My nana's biscuit 11s. That's what you.
Well, listen, I could be somewhat of if I'm going to be a hype beast. Like, yeah, I'll find a good outfit for that. You wear them once every 3 years. You know.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. They won't get dirty. I mean, that quilted
keep
pattern.
You warm.
Yeah. This is the reason why Shea was out there struggling.
God,
his feet were on fire.
That's the one thing Steph's bad at. His shoes.
But look, at least his shoes are
they're consistently that.
They're
consistently that.
I'd say I would rock those over half the ones that we've seen.
True.
In a better color, obviously. Those are the Golden State colors, sorry, George. But like in a, you know what I mean? If those were white and black, I don't think we would have anything to say. Or if they were white and blue or whatever the West colors were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. But just compared to when I was in high school and the shoes that were being rocked then for All-Star games, like when they would come out with the Galaxy colorways and shit, and you're like, wow.
Like, oh my God, I have to get the
Some
All-Star
LeBron
game.
9 Galaxies. It's the greatest stuff. But then in this same slide, you'd see like Tony Parker's Peaks in like an all gray.
Not the Peaks.
Yeah,
the Peaks,
dude.
the tonal
gross.
Peaks, one color.
Disgusting.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, it was.
We need to do the shoe session more often. That was funny.
Kick check at All-Star Weekend. I just had to, before we close out on All-Star Weekend, the halftime show, Jennifer Hudson. What in the name of God?
Yeah.
Bruh,
I'm glad you said it.
How many people come to the All-Star Weekend? Like, they had their pick of the litter of platinum artists from any genre, anyone. We went with Jennifer Hudson. I asked you to name me 5 Jennifer Hudson songs.
That is great. Put them in the comments.
I actually, without Googling, name me 2. Yeah. When I forget who was doing the introduction, I was like, who's this? Jennifer Hudson. I was like, Jennifer Hudson? Yeah, all right. Yeah. we'll go back to cleaning the room.
Can we just have Travis Scott play Fiend for 12 straight minutes?
That would be fine.
That would be awesome, dude.
We'll move it along.
It's Travis Scott's favorite thing to do. Just play the same song over and over.
That's fair too. That is fair too.
Made it for a killer show.
Before we stop on All-Star Weekend, I just wanted to. This is for everybody. Has the game lost its luster to you? And this we've talked about this before on the show as far as every sport, because I feel like every sport has an All-Star game problem now. Whether it's baseball having the game on Monday, which is still to this day like, what the heck are you doing? Or the NHL, people not caring about the NHL, sadly. I still find it appealing, but like I know the greater masses don't really watch. And then the Pro Bowl, obviously now we're playing 2-hand touch. So like All-Star weekends, I remember growing up, and I know I'm older than both of you guys, but like growing up, All-Star weekend was like this huge, exciting thing. And now it's just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm just here so I don't get fined type of situation.
Basically.
That's how it feels to us.
And
that's at least how it feels to me.
Ovechkin literally doesn't go sometimes and just takes the fine.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yeah, I don't want to go. I know I got voted in, but I'll be with the family. I'm resting.
No, I mean, because truthfully, the only way it would change is that if players started taking things personal again and they weren't all friends. But they're just so buddy now that the true rivalries don't exist. Like, LeBron's pride isn't affected by, a young 21-year-old or 22-year-old Anthony Edwards, like, embarrassing him.
Yeah.
Where, Michael was like, yeah, to hell if I let somebody like this come on the national stage of an all-star game embarrass me. But I think what has really changed, though, is that we get to see these players so much now that it's not like that feeling that you would have where you're like, oh, this only happens ever so often where we get to see all these people.
Everyone's together.
And it means a lot more nationally.
That's fair. There's a lot more access to games, whereas before I didn't see your game. Unless
Correct.
you came national, I didn't see this game. I didn't see this player. So like, oh, that's what Clyde Drexler looks like. You didn't get a chance to see him all the time. That's actually fair. That's an
And
interesting way to look at it.
I remember at least when I was younger, you can kind of see where some players would be giving more love to other players in the sense that, hey, when you're a free agent at the end of this next year, do you see how fun it was to play with me? And like, we can do this every single night in Los Angeles or in Boston or whatever. So you can see like these dream scenarios play out where now it's like, nobody cares. They're all shooting three. Like, basketball is no longer about like a team.
Yeah.
I feel basketball is just really about shooting. And if you have really good shooters on your team,
You have a good chance of winning.
you'll win championships.
Have a good chance. Jory, what do you think they should do to fix the game?
I like your idea. I think one-on-ones. I think make it a money incentive. What I've been saying for the longest actually has been it should count for something in the playoffs, like East or West wins, and that's
Home
your,
field,
yeah,
home-
that's your
home
home
court.
that's your home court advantage in the finals.
Yeah.
So everybody's playing for it.
Yeah, no,
I like that. I really like
that. I know that they used to do that in MLB and people hated it, but we got to do something. You know, I kind of was saying, I think the way to really fix it is you've got to highlight the youth. You've got to start highlighting the young players. You know, when I looked at the roster on the West, Anthony Edwards was the only player that was he was 22. And, you know, and then SGA, he's 25. Everyone else was like 29 and up. And when you looked at the East, you know, whether that's Tatum or Tyrese Halliburton or Paolo Banchero or Scotty Barnes or Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, all those guys are like 26, 27 and under. So in terms of like the league needs to really start to push this next wave, because the old guys, the reason that the All-Star game has truly died to me is because this generation was given the free pass to just be too cool. Everything was always too cool. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to do the dunk contest because I don't want to possibly look bad. I don't want to do this stuff because I might possibly look bad. Oh, we don't have to play hard because we all gonna get paid either way. Like, they need to really start to dial in on bringing the guys back to making it competitive, because that's actually what, as fans, we love to see the competition.
Yeah.
I didn't show up to watch you guys high five.
They just all like each other too much, and it's kind of like gross.
I was about to say, it's kind of disgusting.
It's gross. It's like, you guys, what's going on in the locker room back there? You guys are practically making out on the court. I can only imagine what's happening behind closed doors. Like, you guys are just what happened to smoking cigarettes in the locker room and fist fighting? All right. I want that. I want you guys to come into the All-Star game and feel some type of way about this. And this is why the G League All-Stars should play the best NBA All-Stars. And every year, the G League, if they dominate the NBA, everyone's like, whoa, wait a second here.
Huh.
Or what should truly happen is the NBA should win by 55 points every single time that this happens, because they care.
That's interesting.
They should dog them, right? Like, the game should not be close.
Maybe, man, that's interesting. Well, not necessarily the G League element, because God, the G League's like freaking AAU. But maybe, whether, I don't know if this was the actual game or maybe there was a side game or something. I know the NBA keeps trying to build things out, making it more of a global situation and having, you know, the best players from around the world everywhere all compile a team of 12 from every country to then play against, you know, our best 12, or, you know what I mean, or whatever. Yeah. But it's like the world's 12. So it's, you know, the best guy from Greece, the best guy from China, the best guy, like all those players together play against the league. I think at least that would be competitive.
Yeah.
Now, whether we blow them out or not is kind of irrelevant, but I know that we would play hard.
Yeah.
and because they're running sets. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
They're out there running plays. They ain't out there nonsensing around. They want to win. So I mean, and that would also become more of a global event. Maybe you even could put it different parts of the world. It's not just an NBA thing. Then it becomes maybe like it's just a one-day showcase or something.
Yeah.
Just something though. They need to do something to break it up.
For sure.
It's not what we want it to be. But I know we've come to the end of our time, so I had some more stuff for us to talk about, but that's all right. We can push it off till next week. Talk about some more NBA. Major League Baseball is coming back. George will be cheering exclusively for the Rangers. I said it here first because the Rangers made him a good ton of money, and he went to a World Series game. So that is now his team.
I know you keep saying that,
he has
Josh,
been bequeathed.
but I like winning, and I'm looking at the team, and I'm like,
pain is real fandom. That's the true heart of a fan.
I get it, but I can switch. I like this.
That's fair weather.
I was a Dodger fan up until last year, and then I was like, yeah, this is nice. I just don't stop winning championships. So I'm going to think about this. I'm putting a lot of energy and effort behind finding who I think will win the championship this year.
Whoa, you're going back to the Dodgers. I'll say that.
Shohei Ohtani-san.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the American Fan 365. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Some more interviews coming up. Actually, literally while we were on air, I ran into yesterday, George, on the way to a baby shower, Mr. Randy Brown.
Brown
from the Bulls, and so he had been. I run into Randy the most random spots, and so he's out biking with his granddaughter, and the only reason I even stopped was because I was like, oh, that's sweet, out with dad, biking. She's on her little tricycle. They're in the street, and then I look and I'm like, hold on, man, I know that person's head. That's Randy. I pull over. I'm like, Randy. He's like, yeah. And so we always kind of reconnect, and I'm always like, is this still your number? He's like, yeah, it's still the number. So I text him. He literally texted me this morning, was like, yeah, just let me know when you want me to come on. So we're going to have some championships in the building soon.
Maybe he can fix the All-Star game.
We could talk about it. Just make sure we bring it up. So, but we'll see you guys next time. I didn't mean to drag it out any further. Take care.